Okay, stop what you're doing, because what just happened in Washington is insane. The Epstein files, the most radioactive documents in American politics, are now being forced open by Trump's own party. And the question echoing across Washington is the one Trump fears the most. What is he hiding? Roll it. Today, the GOP rebellion no one thought possible, Trump's biggest humiliation in office, and the Epstein storm that might swallow a presidency. No metaphor, no exaggeration. Washington just saw a full-on political mutiny. Congress, a Republican-dominated Congress, voted 427 to 1 to force the release of the Epstein files. That's not bipartisan. That's Thanos snapped and everyone agreed levels of unity. Think about this. Congress can't agree on healthcare, budgets, or what day it is. But on this, they moved faster than your Wi-Fi when you finally pay the bill. This wasn't a vote, it was an intervention. Here's where it gets spicy. Trump and his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, promised to release the Epstein files. They hyped it, they teased it, they built suspense. And then, when it was time to actually release them, they slammed the brakes so hard the country got whiplash. It was the political equivalent of, "I'll show you my phone." Actually, no. Washington spelled panic immediately. And when Washington spells fear, they don't hesitate, they pounce. This wasn't just Congress suddenly growing a spine. This was victims, survivors ignored for decades, forcing the political system to bend. You had Epstein survivors watching the vote live, crying as the numbers rolled in. This wasn't left versus right. This was right versus wrong. And for once, Washington chose right. That moral force is what pushed Republicans over the edge. Because in 2025, no politician wants to be the person defending secrecy around Jeffrey Epstein. Not anymore. Now, here's the intrigue, the part that's driving the White House insane. Legally, there is no evidence Trump did anything criminal with Epstein. But politically, oh boy, he was friends with Epstein. He appeared in the newly released emails. He suddenly refused to release the files he promised he'd release. So the question becomes, if there is nothing damaging, why raise the biggest political rebellion of your presidency? That question is now everywhere. Headlines, press rooms, late-night shows, TikTok conspiracy bros doing jump cuts. This is a political Bermuda Triangle. The harder Trump tries to escape, the deeper he sinks. Then came the moment that made Washington gasp. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey basically said, "If Trump tries to block this, I will go to the House floor and read every name out loud." That is DEFCON 1. That is Washington's version of, "Don't make me come over there." Massey essentially threatened to become a one-man document leak. If Trump stalls, delays, or redacts, this dude might go live on C-SPAN and detonate the list. Congress hasn't been this dramatic since they threw hands in the 1800s. I love breaking down the myths of power. Trump's whole political brand is built on one thing. He controls the GOP, not the other way around. But when the votes came down, when the pressure hit, his party didn't protect him. They revolted. They ignored his demands. They ignored his speaker. They sent the bill to his desk faster than Amazon Prime. This moment right here is where his aura cracked. Because if Republicans realize Trump can be defied, they may start doing it again. Now the question, why this week was disastrous for Trump? So ladies and gentlemen, gather around. This wasn't just one bad headline. This was a cascade of political disasters. His polls dropped. The economy dragged him down further. A federal judge questioned his DOJ's prosecution of James Comey. The Supreme Court roasted his tariff authority. A court blocked Texas maps drawn for the GOP. Republicans grumbled about the shutdown. Marjorie Taylor Greene accused him of being out of touch. When MTG, America's conspiracy spirit animal, turns on you, it's officially a bad week. Okay, is this Trump's lame duck moment? Well, every second-term president eventually hits the wall. The moment where events start controlling them. Bush had Katrina. Obama had congressional gridlock. Clinton had impeachment. Trump now faces the most politically explosive scandal in America, involving a dead sex trafficker, a bipartisan revolt, national outrage, and millions demanding transparency. That's not a story. That's a political black hole. And it is swallowing everything in its path. To stay neutral, we have to say it, Trump is a political mutant. The dude survives everything. Scandals, convictions, impeachments, assassination attempts, leaving office in disgrace, and somehow winning again in 2024. His base is fiercely loyal. So, is this the end? No. But it is the most dangerous moment of his presidency. Because this time he's not fighting Democrats, or the media, or the courts. He's fighting victims. morality, and the fear that somewhere in those files there is something it doesn't want the world to see. So here's where things stand. Washington has forced open the vault. The survivors have the country behind them. The GOP has broken ranks. And now the spotlight, the one Trump loves when he's controlling the stage, is fixed on him in a way he can't escape. The Epstein files are coming. The only question left is, what happens when the truth comes out? So that's it. That was a breakdown. I'm Mazar. If you want more deep dives like this with receipts, nuance, and a little spice, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.